Financial independence, retire early. What started as a fringe idea has blossomed into a global movement. Over the past decade, the FIRE movement has evolved and improved. I've been following the FIRE movement for over 12 years now, and I can confidently say the FIRE movement is better today than it was a decade ago. If you started your financial independence journey a while ago, you might have missed out on these subtle but important changes. The FIRE movement has evolved, but have you? Have you adapted your approach as the community has grown? In this video, I'll explain what the FIRE movement is at its core, walk you through 4 ways the FIRE community has improved, and show you how to evolve with it. The FIRE movement, Financial Independence, Retire Early, empowers people to reclaim control of their time and money. At its core, Financial Independence, Retire Early means building enough financial security to make work optional. A decade ago, FIRE focused primarily on reaching a specific financial target to leave the workforce permanently. Today, it's evolved into a much broader philosophy and community. People now use financial independence to live life on their own terms, pursuing early retirement, part-time work, semi-retirement, or coasting to financial independence. While FIRE has always challenged traditional retirement timelines, it's now even more flexible, inclusive, and aligned with how people truly want to live. Let's dive into the 4 ways the FIRE movement is stronger and better than ever before. As we'll explore these improvements, I think you'll notice a shared theme that can transform your approach to financial independence. The most significant improvement is that the FIRE movement no longer requires early retirement. A decade ago, retire early dominated the headlines. It was the primary goal. Many were drawn to financial independence as an escape from toxic work environments. Today, FIRE has evolved beyond that narrow focus. It's about creating freedom, flexibility, and a life full of options. While FIRE and financial independence are often used interchangeably, many people in the community have dropped the RE, or the retire early. Instead of the FIRE community, it's the FI community. It's a subtle but intentional shift to represent this change. Many who achieved early retirement discovered they didn't hate work. They actually hated the lack of autonomy. Many of those who retired 10 years ago in the FI community have continued doing productive work, with the key shift being focusing on work that's meaningful and more flexible. Now, FIRE represents building a life where work is optional and aligns with your values. This shift is really transformative. It welcomes more people into the FIRE community, even those who want to continue meaningful work. The second improvement is that it's no longer a race to the finish line. Early FIRE had a reputation for being an extreme sprint. Earn more, spend as little as possible, and retire ASAP. This was exemplified by popular blogs like Early Retirement Extreme and Mr. Money Mustache. But that intensity burned many people out and excluded those who weren't high earners or didn't want to sacrifice everything for the goal. Today, FIRE embraces a more balanced, sustainable approach. Concepts like Coast-Fi and Slow-Fi have emerged, offering people ways to pause, slow down, or even take advantage of their financial freedom along the way. Coast-Fi seems to have become one of the most popular paths to FI, though this is a mostly anecdotal observation. The only data I do have is the download numbers on our Coast-Fi calculator. These ideas demonstrate that financial independence doesn't have to be all or nothing. You don't have to wait until the end to enjoy life. And when you leverage freedom along the path to FI, there's no need to rush to the finish line. Even Mr. Money Mustache has come out and said that enjoying the journey along the way is the future of the FIRE movement. Now, this is a massive improvement. FIRE has evolved into a journey, not a finish line. Have you made this shift too? Think about how much time and energy you spend tracking your progress to FI or counting down the months until you reach your FI number. In my early years, I obsessed over the calculations, finding joy in seeing how life changes affected my time to FI. But now, I don't fixate on when I'll get there. While I'm still moving toward the goal, I'm not consumed by it. I'd rather spend my time on other things. Here's my suggestion. Reflect on how your own approach has evolved. And if you're open to sharing, tell us about your journey in the comments below. I'm really curious to hear about your experience with this shift. And since FIRE is no longer a sprint, the approach to spending has also evolved. As I mentioned, extreme frugality, even deprivation, was once commonplace in the financial independence space. Back then, extreme frugality was practically an unspoken requirement for FIRE. If you weren't living on rice and beans or biking in the snow, were you even taking it seriously? Today, that mindset has shifted. The FIRE movement now encourages spending on what you value. Not cutting every expense to the bone. It's not about deprivation anymore. It's about intentionality. Rather than spending mindlessly, it's about improving your quality of life and enhancing those peak experiences. Now, let's be real. This shift hasn't been universal. I know many of you watching still struggle to spend money on things you value. And trust me, I get it. It takes time to rewire your brain from saver to spender. Whether you're starting to withdraw from your portfolio in early retirement or even semi-retirement, or you're just trying to spend a little bit more on things you enjoy while on the path, it's important to acknowledge that this shift can be challenging. And there's no shame in that. For us, spending on things we enjoy has become easier over time. In recent years, we've splurged on getting e-bikes and even bought and converted a camper van. Neither was a small purchase, and yes, it did take some effort to make that decision. But we did it because those things aligned with what we truly value. Each major purchase has given us feedback that then shapes our future spending too, so it gets easier over time. Now, if you're struggling to spend on things you enjoy, start small. Make one purchase that feels scary or reckless, and then pay attention to the aftermath. Did it ruin your finances? Did you enjoy the experience or the item that you purchased? And most importantly, was it worth it? Use that feedback to then inform your future choices. Taking one small step at a time is a great way to make this shift. This change makes FIRE not only more enjoyable, but much more sustainable for the long haul. Finally, perhaps the biggest improvement is FIRE is no longer a solo journey. 10 years ago, discussion was mostly online forums and blog comments. And I can tell you because I was in those forums and I was making those comments. Now it's meetups, retreats, local groups, and real life friendships. And in my experience, the financial independence journey is so much better and easier when you have people on the journey with you. Diana Miriam, the founder of Economy, perhaps the largest in-person gathering in the FI space, famously says FI is better with friends. This is a big part of the reason we started hosting the Slow FI retreats. Bringing together like-minded people who want to design intentional lives along the path to financial independence. Because the 2025 retreat sold out within a couple weeks, we actually just decided we're going to host 2 retreats in 2026. We haven't announced the dates or the locations yet, but we'll be doing that very soon for those on the retreat waitlist. If you're interested, you can join the waitlist by clicking on the link in the description below. If you want to join us for an in-person event in 2026, joining the waitlist will give you the best chances of doing so. That growing sense of community is a game changer. FIRE feels less like a fringe movement and more like a shared journey with support, accountability, and real human connection. Now that we covered the 4 improvements, can you spot the common theme that connects all of them? The common theme that I see in these changes is that money has become a means to an end rather than the end itself. In the past, people in the FIRE community were laser focused on their FI number. Reaching that target meant everything to them. But when money becomes your sole focus, life can feel empty and isolating. Making money the end goal means missing out on what life has to offer. When you view money as a tool instead, a means to an end, you can use it to craft a life you truly love. We've been on our financial independence journey for about 7 years now, working towards making work optional. But if you've followed this channel, you know we're not racing to the finish line. Instead, we're working on improving our lives along the way. If you want to learn more about our approach to financial independence, join the waitlist for future Slow FI retreats and watch this video here. This video sums up the new and improved approach to FI. As always, thanks so much for watching, and remember to enjoy your journey.